Hello. I'm Trent, aka oTradeMark, and today we're bringing you the brand new Anime Fighters update. Check out this new UI. Check out these new characters. Yo, they're from Genshin Impact. That's not even an anime. Why is that even in the game? Oh, this Anime Fighters update looks so sick. There's new dojos, there's new characters, there's new everything. Oh, this feels bad. Sorry this experience is private. In case you guys didn't see already, Anime Fighters Simulator has been taken down for the moment. This is almost certainly due to a copyright issue. I kind of mentioned this in my last video, but I'm surprised that more of the anime games don't get pursued by big publishers. The publishers own the rights to these characters that the developers are using in their games. And I guess this is just the risk that they take by using the characters in the game. And yeah, they rename the names, but honestly, it doesn't matter. You're still infringing on someone's property if you're using a character's likeness. So it's very clear to see that they're, the characters, whatever names they have in game, are the anime characters. I mean, it's called Anime Fighters Simulator. So they're probably dealing with some legal issues, which sucks because honestly, copyright law is so convoluted. I've dealt with it in my business, and it's always a pain. It's always messy. It's never fun to get lawyers involved, and especially with something like this, where this game has made probably millions, if not hundreds of thousands, easily. And it's one of the most popular games on Roblox, and it's they caught the attention of one of the big companies that owns the rights to one of these things. So that's almost certainly what it is. I don't have confirmation of that. It's not like I have insider information or anything, but that's the only thing that I can think of that would cause them to take the entire game down. And especially if we pair this with why they removed the faces in the previous update, that was probably them trying to they probably were sent some cease and desist or something earlier, and then they tried to remove the faces, but that is still removing the faces is not enough. I mean, they're still the intellectual property owners are still well within their rights to pursue legal action and sue, even if if you're using the character's likeness, which means you can change the name, you can remove their faces, but still if their likeness remains, these companies have a lot of money, and so their legal teams are very big, very powerful, and if they choose to, it could be a scary situation for Dyreb and his team. So, honestly, the little joke I made in the last video about, him getting sued so he increased all the paywalls, I really do feel for them, because it's a nightmare dealing with this type of stuff, and hopefully they can resolve this, because seriously, I don't want this game to die because of a copyright strike. If the game dies, I want it to be because of the developers' poor decisions. I want them to learn that you shouldn't, forcibly create these paywalls and this big free-to-play, pay-to-play gap. But I kind of just want to talk about the viability of these games in general. So this is Anime Worlds that I was showing you guys at the beginning. It really is super weird that they made Genshin Impact. Genshin is not... I'm pretty sure it's made by a Chinese company. I don't even think it's made by a Japanese company. So it's very weird that... I didn't even know what this was. I just thought I was just out of the loop. I was like, what anime is this? And yeah, I had to ask my Discord, and they're like, oh, it's Genshin. But yeah, I've never played Genshin, so I don't really connect with this world at all. But it is a bit strange that it is in the game. But yeah, the viability of these games. I mean, they all have a relatively simple gameplay loop, right? It's basically basically a slot machine simulator with extra steps, right? Like you, that sounds bad, but that's pretty much all it is. You have these steps to collect some type of currency, and that you use to open to collect characters, and collecting those characters has different rarities, and you're basically trying to win the jackpot by getting the super rare items. It's like a collector's game, which, like a lot of games, follow that mold. It's not like it's anything new necessarily. But one thing that's kind of interesting with like all these games is that because the gameplay loop is so simple, I feel like they need to innovate if they want their game to be popular. Like Anime World, so this is, if you guys don't know, I think this game is in beta, and when it first came out, it had a lot of bugs. I'm not sure, they've done a couple updates since then, so I'm not sure if they've fixed a lot of those bugs. They did say they did like a big balance overhaul of the game. I haven't been playing it too much. I played a ton when the day it came out, but I haven't really played since then. The thing was, to me, it just wasn't different enough from Anime Fighters to justify like spending time on this game over Anime Fighters. If anything, there were a lot more things that I was irritated by in this game, like to merge characters as an example. You go in here and you click here and you merge, and you have to do this one by one. At least, I don't know if they've added an auto merge. It looks like they haven't. But you have to, this is literally how you make your character stronger. So this would be like fusing. If you had to fuse every unit one by one, that's basically like what it would be in Anime Fighters. And it's super annoying, super time consuming. I tried to write a tiny task for it, but the tiny task, the problem with it is like the characters are always shifting. So you can never find like a perfect cell to select. Like even if you select this top left one, anyways, I ended up creating a long tiny task that switched between the cells, and it had to, in case it hit a unit that didn't have a merge, it had to click OK instead of clicking yes. It was just like a big pain. And anytime that you're having to like literally write macros just to make a game less laborious, it's probably not a good sign. So, but I think they're aware of that. Hopefully they, release an auto merge function. But yeah, going back to like what I was saying, these games need to innovate, okay? Like especially because this one came to the market after Anime Fighters, and I get that Anime Fighters wasn't like the first pet game, like Pet Sim, and there was lots of basically the same type of games, just no one had thought to actually do it with anime characters, which is kind of ingenious because anime is so popular right now. And it was just kind of ingenious how they did that, even though it's not necessarily a brand new idea. They took the idea and put their own spin on it, and it was wildly popular. Now unfortunately that idea is probably causing them a lot of pain right now because they're having to deal with the copyright stuff, but which someone like Pet Sim will not, because they're creating all of their, they're creating all those characters themselves. But yeah, I feel like some things that Anime Fighters was doing, like time trials, is kind of cool. Like it's not, again, none of this stuff is completely original. There's plenty of games that have trials or raids. Like those things aren't original. But what I'm saying is you can't just basically copy the exact mold and expect it to be wildly popular. Like I still don't think, even with the Anime Fighters down, like this game will probably get more attention. But for me, I need more from this game. And I'm not sure how you guys feel about it. Maybe if you guys have played Anime World so far, you can post your opinion in the comments section. But yeah, I would love to see some ingenuity with these games. Create like a mode where you're really incentivized to play as a team. The thing with Anime Fighters is you're not really incentivized to play as a team. Raids, you don't get any benefit. In fact, it becomes harder to do a raid if you have extra players. Time trials, there is kind of a benefit to do time trials as a team. but honestly, you only want to play with a certain amount of people. If you have too many players in your lobby, then it becomes, you fill the attack positions, and it's just like it becomes a detriment. Oh shoot, I forgot I was on this the wrong scene. But yeah, this is an interesting time. Now Anime Fighters did say they will be back and they will be better. I'm not sure how they recovered from this. Like, honestly, like I said, the legal team for some of the big IP owners of the anime, they're very, very wealthy companies. And if they feel like you're taking money from them, they're going to hit you with everything that they can, probably, especially because there's a lot of different anime games popping up. They're probably trying to like set an example, and unfortunately Anime Fighters is the game that whatever publisher chose to pursue them is probably going to try and set an example of them, which is also scary for games like this, like Anime Worlds, or any anime game for that matter. Like if you're not changing the likeness of the characters enough to where you can call them your own original creations, then you might be in some deep water. But yeah, I don't know. This is an interesting time. It's unfortunate because I literally was like in the process of recording when they shut down, and I was gonna bring you guys a bunch of videos this week. So now we can't. I had the time to kill testing nearly done. We had the new passive tier list. Man, I had so many awesome videos for you guys this week, but who knows when Anime Fighters will be back. So I'm going to be looking for some games to play. I'm in the testing servers of some games that are being developed, but unfortunately they're not at a point where I can actually share them with you. But I am excited for some of those games. A couple are anime games. And one is a shooter, which I'm actually really excited about, because if you guys didn't know, basically my initial YouTube background was in Call of Duty, and I played a lot of shooters in my years. I've probably spent more hours. Well, I've spent probably equal hours on like dungeon crawlers and dungeon crawlers / RPGs and like shooters, but I really like both of those genres. So let me know if you guys know of any games that are, coming up. I'm excited, obviously, for Anime Legends. And just this whole situation is making me nervous for all of the anime games coming out. I'm just like, oh man, because like I've invested so much time and money into this game. Like if it just disappeared, that would be heartbreaking, Like, well, at least for me, it's not like a huge financial, loss that I'm going to see. Is obviously just like a bunch of extra disposable income that I have that I can throw at this game, and hopefully I start making some money on YouTube too. I actually, when I started back doing this anime thing, when I started back doing this YouTube thing, I hadn't posted in so long that I actually lost my monetization on my videos, so I just earned that back. But thank you. Like I actually forgot to, I didn't forget, man, I feel so bad because there's so much stuff that I wanted to tell you guys. I was actually working on potentially doing this giveaway with Direb, with the Anime Fighters team, and he seemed pretty open to this idea, but I was going to be giving away my own fighters in the game. So like trading isn't out in Anime Fighters, but I was basically asking the devs if they could do a manual trade for me, like either like manually transfer my characters to other people, because for my 50k event, I wanted to give away my own units. So like my secrets, I have so many secrets, so many shiny mythics, so many shiny raid characters that I wanted to give a lot of those away because they're just sitting there, they're not doing anything. And so I was going to give them away when trading was implemented, but who knows if trading ever will be implemented. And so I had asked him if he would be open to that, and he actually was considering it, but clearly that's going to be put on hold. But yeah, as far as like 50k subscribers is concerned, like honestly, you guys have been so supportive since I started up. The Roblox community and the Anime Fighters community has just been so I've received an incredible incredibly positive reception to creating content again. So thank you. It's actually it's made it very enjoyable. I forgot how much I miss this, especially just helping other people and discussing things. You know, I'm obviously I'm a very big stats nerd, as you can see with all my spreadsheets, but I just love. Oh, that's kind of a cool thing in Anime Worlds I forgot to mention. If you guys don't notice, yeah, I do have ADHD, and when I tend to just record like this, I rant and ramble and go on tangents a lot. But this was something I want to mention about Anime Worlds that I think is kind of cool. First of all, they allow you to fight with your fighter, which is kind of cool. So you can bring your avatar in, you can actually fight. You know, you feel like it feels a little more active than anime fighters. And the other thing is, when your characters build up these things, they can do ults. Now my characters are too strong; they're gonna take this out really quick. But I thought that was kind of I should have clarified that they're not entirely copying the mold of the previous Pet Sim games. And I know these developers had their own Pet Simulator game prior to Anime World, so it's not like they're new to this. But I just felt like it wasn't. There's cool stuff, and it's still in beta, so hopefully this game will surprise us and come out with some stuff that makes it even better than Anime Fighters. But for me, it just wasn't quite there yet, which is understandable considering it's still in beta, I think. Or if it's not still in beta, it just barely came out full. But yeah, thank you guys for all the support. Thank you, for all the help on the videos. What's up, dude? And yeah, so we have this interesting kind of downtime now for Anime Fighters, so let me know if you guys have any other games I should check out. And yeah, anyways, malo al pito, thanks for watching, and peace. I'm out of here.